Hey everybody, it's Jim here from Traveling Roads YouTube channel here in San Jose del Cabo, Baja Mexico. Been getting a lot of questions, a lot of comments, people messaging me about what's it like down here. You know, the same kind of questions that we've been getting for years. Is it safe? You know, what's the economy like now? What's medical like? I wanted to do a bit of a segment on kind of an assessment, I guess, bit of an overview. We've been here a while now. Visiting here is a lot different than living here, and been living here now for a couple of years. Back and forth to Canada quite a bit. Still work for a company in Canada, albeit remote. I will say, leaving and coming here, yeah, in all honesty, it's brought a lot of sort of deep thought. Been thinking a lot about that. State of affairs, the economy there. We were kind of forced out after the pandemic. My wife was let go from work, and I was lucky to keep my job, but I was able to work remotely. And we came down here for a while to kind of hit a reset button for her, for us to see, okay, what next? We rented our house out in Canada, albeit short term at first. Partway through the rental, we got hit with an interest rate increase that crushed us. I mean, it tripled. So our mortgage basically doubled. So you throw a 2.4% interest rate on a mortgage that triples on $1 million mortgage, and you go from $2,600 a month to $5,000. You can't. We couldn't keep our house. And the Canadian economy is so fragile, so expensive to live in Vancouver, Western Canada. I mean, we had to sell our house. Kind of looking at things and going, what now? So luckily we had a place down here. We bought a place here 8 years ago, kind of a condo for rent. We'd visit as much as we could. But we had a place to go. We came here. And my wife started a business, Renee's Baja Home Concierge Service. She tapped into something she's passionate about, condo and home services, airport pickups, groceries. She'll decorate, stage a place, do videos for rentals, stuff like that. So we, spent some time working on that, and got to a point where she was able to get it off the ground and start getting referrals and business and stuff like that. But we take a real kind of step back and go, looking at Canada as a possible return at some point. And it's so expensive, we honestly don't know if we can. It's so expensive. State of government there is in such a way that I don't know, man. Doesn't look good. It's like the U.S. It's a powder keg waiting to go off in some form. We just don't know what that's going to look like. None of us do. We got all, everybody's got opinions. We all have our needs and wants and whatnot. But I can tell you one thing for sure. Living in a foreign country is not as easy as just packing up your suitcases and moving and laying on the beach and hanging by the pool and drinking margaritas. It takes a lot more adjustment. There's a lot that goes with it. There's a lot to unpack. But I will say this: Mexico gets painted with a certain brush. Baja is very isolated from sort of mainland Mexico, kind of like Southern California without all the infrastructure and traffic and chaos and crime and all that stuff. We're in a little bubble here. It's safe. We live better here on one salary than we did on two salaries in Canada. And the weather's perfect all the time. People are friendly. Nobody's really stressed out here. We're a lot healthier. Honestly, we're missing our family, our our daughter and our grandkids, and that's really hard to adjust to. But we had to take matters into our own hands and do something for coming out of the pandemic. I mean, it was a shit show for everybody, and we basically ended up having to make some decisions that were not easy. A few other things I wanted to actually talk about, interesting because I get a lot of questions about this, is cost comparisons. Like utilities, car insurance, stuff like that. In Canada, cell phone packages, in Canada we had a TELUS plan. It was about $200 a month for both of us. Data, cell, texting, all that. But it would increase. You'd go over the limits, and the bill would be $300, $400 a month. Down here, I have a cell phone plan. It's the Amigo plan. You just go into the OXXO. It's kind of like a 7-Eleven. Go into the convenience store every month. Just pay the amount that you want. Punch in your number. Your phone is topped up. And the Amigo plan I've been getting is 300 pesos a month. And that is 5 gig data, calls, texting, anywhere in Mexico, US, and Canada. It's basically $15 a month, and it's incredible. Renee's package is a little less. She's not as heavy a user, but she's on the 200 peso Amigo plan, and never runs out of data. It's incredible, the difference in cell phone plans. Another thing is strata. In Canada, our strata at the house was $375 a month for general maintenance, lawn cutting, snow removal, salting the sidewalks. That did include water, but I've got to admit that the landscapers, the maintenance crew was actually terrible. It became unkept. The grass wasn't cut very much. Down here we pay $375 US a month for our strata fees. They're fantastic. They look after the pool. That's the security guards. There's 3 or 4 people working in the gardens every day, 6 days a week. It's resort style, incredible, meticulous care. In Canada, it was, it's the fault of our strata, or the strata where we were living. It just wasn't maintained. They weren't taking care of the place, and it was starting to show. Here, our place looks like, resort quality. It's impeccable, immaculate every day. So a big difference is there. Got a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and in Canada I was paying probably about $1,600 a year for insurance. I've got that vehicle down here, BC plated, so I pay for the British Columbia license plate registration every year, which is about $60 Canadian. And my insurance here, fully covered, is $300 a year, US. My wife has her vehicle down here, and same thing. She was paying probably $1,500-$1,600 a year in Canada. Fully insured this year, we just paid $260 for the year. Fully insured. Property tax. Our house in Vancouver, before any sort of subsidy or any of those sort of government discounts, whatever, that we would get in Canada, I think we were probably $5,500–$6,000 for property tax. Here we're paying $420 a year property tax. Food, it's fairly safe to say that it's gone up. Pretty much anywhere. It doesn't matter. Fruits, vegetables, meat, basic goods, your laundry detergent and anything else you need. It's gone up everywhere. But we can easily get twice as much for half the price. So in Canada, we get like 4 bags of groceries. It costs $150, $200. Here, that you get the same amount for like $75. Gas is fairly expensive here. Paying about 26 pesos per liter. So it's getting up there. But small city, I'll fill up the vehicle. Cost me maybe $100, and it'll last me 2 weeks, maybe more. Restaurants, depends where you're eating. If you're in the tourist areas, you're gonna pay tourist prices. But we go where the locals go. We go uptown. We go to a lot of different places that we've discovered that are really, really good. We know the staff now, and the two of us can eat well, and you have a beer or two each. Costs 500 pesos, $25 for everything. Food, you get a large pizza and a big salad that you can share between the two of you. It's almost more food than you can eat, and it's $25 plus a tip. In Canada, a large pizza and a big old Caesar salad and 4 beers, you're probably looking at $100 easy, plus tip, $120. So it's vastly different when it comes to doing your homework and stuff like that. And we've learned to get out of the tourist areas because you can pay a lot because they know you're a tourist and you're going to pay accordingly. But other things we've noticed, like the cost of buying places. When we first bought here, 2-bedroom condo, brand new, on a golf course, 1,300 square feet, ground floor, right on the golf course, beautiful view. We paid under $200,000 US for it. So that's gone up quite a bit. Our place came with a garage, so we took it for sure. We bought the furniture package that was offered. That same place in Vancouver would be $1 million. Maybe between 800 and 800,000 and $1 million. It is literally night and day. I had a doctor's appointment the other day, just dealing with something that she's been really good. She's awesome. And I've been seeing her for a while, and it's nice to see a doctor, get a doctor, because I know some people in Canada, you almost can't get a family doctor anymore. You got to go into a clinic, and you see a different person all the time. I've been seeing Dr. Rosales here. She's just lovely. She's been doing it a long time, and because it was around the holidays, I give you a deal, blah, 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 Feliz Navidad. My prescriptions and the visit was like 800 pesos. It was like $40. And she's just fantastic. She's lovely, and she's really good. And I know I met a person a while ago. My wife and I were having dinner one night, and there was this couple beside us, and they were from Texas. And got talking to them, and he'd been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in Texas. They basically said, make plans. So they did, but she started looking around for him and found this doctor, Justin Mitchell. I think he's a California guy, and he's been down here doing some incredible life-saving cancer treatments. And this guy came down here, and he started seeing this guy. And when we saw him during dinner, that week was his last set of treatments, and he was cancer-free. And the same doctor, I guess, reached out to Toby Keith's people and offered to treat Toby unfortunately, from what we understand, Toby ended up going to Florida and trying to get treatments there, and we all know he didn't make it. The treatments here are not as FDA, whatever you call it, regulated, so they can do certain treatments and certain care that's not bogged down in the regulations and not bogged down by the process and the medical system, to the point where people can get care and they can get treatments here that they might not be able to get anywhere else. And sometimes, in this guy's case, and others too, life-saving. And this guy's, he's got to thank this guy for saving his life. So there's a lot of access to amazing specialty medical treatments here, and care, and generally just way of life, cost of living. I mean, seriously, it's been life-changing for us, not without a lot of emotion and not without a lot of cost and challenge, if you will. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into living in a foreign country that we can honestly say has made it so much easier to deal with than I ever thought. When we used to visit here, we'd come here for 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, we're in paradise, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Like I said, moving to a different country and trying to restart your life and reinvent yourself, it's not that easy. But when you have amenities and costs that are really affordable and decisions you can make that they're not that hard to make, because you look at it and go, is that all it costs? We had some repair work done here, and we've met a lot of contractors and become friends, and this guy did some amazing work for us. And when I looked at the bill at the end of the day, it was like 300 pesos, like $15. I'm like, is there a zero missing? Should that be 150 bucks? He's like, no, amigo, that's it, 300 pesos. I'm like, what? Dude, here, have more. So I paid him more because I'm like, I'm not used to that. I mean, in Canada or the US, you're going to pay trades and they're all worth their money. Let's face it, they got to make a living, right? But you can get something done here for really cheap. I mean, insanely cheap. IT work. Get a guy to come over and hook up your Fire Stick and do your Wi-Fi, put some boosters in, get your internet all sorted, and you're just dialed. And then you look at the bill and you go, what, dude, really? That's it? That's it? Yeah, I'll take it. It allows us to make the adjustment in a way that we were surprised by, I guess. I find living here is very comfortable. It's slower pace. There's no real hectic kind of lifestyle that we were used to. I know right now my wife's back in Canada. Unfortunately, her mom, my mother-in-law, her health's not good, and dealing with that, and she's sending me videos of the weather back there, and it's just torrential, awful, raining so hard that she can't get out of her vehicle to run into the hospital or to run into a building or into the store or whatever. It's something that we were accustomed to for so long. It's almost like you get used to living in a downpour half the year. You don't realize how shitty it is until you're not in it anymore and go, I can't believe that I actually got through that year after year after year, where it's so bad you can't go outside, you can't take the kids out and play, you can't go and hang around, shoot a round of golf, or go for a walk on the water, or go to a park or something like that, because the weather's just so bad that you can't go out. It affects your life, it affects your frame of mind, your just ass kicked. As far as real estate goes, a lot of people ask us about that. We know a lot of friends that are realtors. Greg Curtis from Baja Properties, good friend of ours. He was a realtor in Canada for a long time. Greg and his wife Lisa are down here now. He's doing really well. He's got a lot of listings, you know, houses, condos, lots for sale for people that want to build. It's just endless possibilities here. So there's lots of opportunity to look at investment down here. Still achievable. It's affordable, and it's good investment. People that want to buy here and maybe just rent it out or use it as a long-term investment to, you know, develop some equity. There's lots of choices to be had. The development here it's rampant. There's a lot of building here. There's a lot of development. They're building up and down the coast. They're going up Sea Cortez, up the East Cape. There's so much development here, but you know, you look out there, Palmilla, out on the point, and the whole coastline over to San Jose. I mean, if there's an empty space along the waterfront, they're building there. And lots of opportunity, that's for sure. So people that want to consider buying, it's easy to, you know, fly down here, spend some time, sniff around, you know, immerse yourself in the community and check things out. And it might be for you, it might not be. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. And some people don't like the heat. Summers can be hot. We do get the breeze off the water most of the time, so it does feel cooler than it actually is. But yeah, sun all the time. It's good. It's healthy. We've had people that come down here that have just moved here that have never been here. Move their kids here, set up shop here, start to, you know, put their kids into school and stuff like that, and go, man, like, it's such an environment we never would have expected. It's so incredible. They put them in school and they learn how to, you know, plant a garden and work the garden and learn outdoor skills and learn the language, learn how to swim with the local kids and stuff like that. I've had a hard time adjusting to it because I'm kind of not used to it. Like, my wife had surgery here and it was amazing. I mean, the medical care was so good. We were amazed by it, but kind of went, isn't that how it's supposed to be? But no, it's not. I mean, you know, in parts of Canada or the US, you ask anybody, you get admitted to a hospital, you're probably on a gurney somewhere in a hallway next to the elevator waiting for a room. There's a shortage of, you know, nurses and staff, and it's a different situation here. I mean, you go into the hospitals, you know, you have to pay for it unless you got medical coverage, but it's clean, and it's the way that it should be. And we're used to it not being that way in many parts of where we all live, from back wherever you've come from. You got any questions, comments, or whatever? Throw them in the comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Be safe, everybody. Adios, amigos.